Well, hello there, my darlings. Happy Tuesday to all of you, and welcome to a rather chilled, sit-down little Q&A video that we're going to do today. I haven't done a Q&A video in a very long time. I cannot even remember the last time. I think it was my office tour, and the other week, or last week, when I was having trouble with the EA app. Yeah, I was just like, what can I do? And then a few of you suggested to do another Q&A. So that is what we're going to do today. You guys asked me some questions over on Instagram and also on my community tab here. So we're going to just chill. We're going to sit back. We're going to relax. And we're just going to answer these questions. That is today's video. You might not like this. You can come back tomorrow when there's another Sims video coming out. But for today, we're delving deep into my psyche and answering some of these questions. Now, the first question is from someone I know in real life, and he's an absolute darling. This is from Dana Fox, and they ask, what does a relatively normal day for you consist of? Well, I tend to get up around about 8:30. That might seem late for some people, but that's how my body clock works. I'm a night owl. I tend to go to bed at like midnight, maybe a little bit later sometimes. So as long as I get those 7 to 8 hours sleep, I'm absolutely fine. And then I'll have a bit of breakfast. I'm not really a big breakfast eater. I'll have a banana or maybe a bit of porridge here and there. Some days I even go without. It's just not for me. I've never been a big breakfast kind of person. Depending on what day it is, I usually go to the gym 3 times a week. So I'll go to the gym after I've eaten breakfast. But if not, I'll come up, plan my videos for the day, check my schedule, see what I have to do. And then I'll have a shower. I always got to have a shower every day. I like to have a fresh tuppence, my loves, for the day ahead. Then I'll record and edit depending on what I'm doing. If it's a Monday, I usually pre-record, so it's a day of full recording. I haven't done that in quite a while because of situations that's been going on in my life at the minute. Next week, that will all be coming back into normality again. But if it's Let's Build the World's Day, I usually record, edit, and upload on the same day. And that takes me right through until about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then what I usually do is spend a bit of time with Tom if he's home from work, have some dinner, and then I'm back in the office again from 7 until about 9, which is depending on the days that I stream. So that is usually my days or my weekdays. I tend to go out as well. If like I've got a bit of time, I'll go out and meet some friends, but I usually leave that until the weekend. Weekdays are usually for me at home working in my office, in this room right now that we're in together. And I love it. I do really, really love it. Weekends, I'm out all the time. I'm eating Sunday roasts in pubs. I am having pints of beer. We're walking on the moors, playing on the beach, all of that kind of good stuff. Living in Devon and Cornwall, I'm kind of spoiled for choice with that kind of lifestyle because that's very big in our culture down in this neck of the woods in the UK. Yes, it is. Anyway, next question. What's the next one? Jellison, which is one of my wonderful mods. Hi, what about your house would you change with an infinite amount of money? Layout / style, etc, etc. If I had an infinite amount of money, I love the layout of this house. I really do. It's a Victorian terrace. It's very long. It is a big house. But I know I'm not going to live here forever, so I don't really, or me and Tom don't really want to put too much money into it to then not make that back when we go to sell it, if you know what I mean. But if I had an infinite amount of money and if I was going to be living here forever, I love modern extensions on older buildings, and you guys all know this by now. I would love like a strip skylight extending all the way back into the kitchen area and kind of knock through the living room and everything all together on the ground floor. I would love that with bifold doors. You guys have all seen it. I'll flop up a little example of something that I just love being on the ends of Victorian houses. But that is what I would do. But I'm not going to be here forever, so I'm not going to be spending all the money on it. No, I'm not. Next question. From the wonderful Katie Gascoigne. Is there any type of architecture you would hate having to build in The Sims? I really, and I don't want to offend anybody out here, but I'm not, especially Kayla, aka Lil Simsy, I'm not a fan of the kind of American suburban looking house. It's just not for me. It's not for me. I like the older ones, think Father of the Bride, that kind of style where there's a little bit of history and stuff behind it. But I'm just not a fan of that kind of architecture. I don't know why. I don't know why it is. It's just not for me. So that is my least favorite thing to build in The Sims, architecturally wise, my loves. Aldusk 26 asks, how do you stay motivated to create builds? This is kind of a hard one because it can kind of reflect on how I'm feeling in the day. Some days, don't get me wrong, I know I have to build and I'm just like, I really don't want to. I really don't want to. I'm not feeling it today. That could be I'm feeling a bit anxious, I'm feeling a bit sad, I'm feeling a bit tired. That kind of like sort of feeling does affect my motivation for the day. So some days I just have to bite the bullet and do it. But most of the time I'm just inspired all the time and I love building in The Sims 4. I really, really do. So that motivation never tends to leave me, but it just depends on how I'm feeling in the daytime, really. Or yeah, how I'm feeling. If I've had a good week, it does affect how motivated I am to do a build. But yeah, day-to-day thing. Next. Now, I got asked this question so many times. This is probably the most asked question through this Q&A, and it is, do you have any plans to bring your Discover with Devon series back? By the way, I adore you. Thank you, Law Simming. That one was from Law Simming. Thank you so much, my love. I got this question. This was the most asked question. Yes, I really, really want to start it back up again. It was my favorite thing I've ever done on the channel. I was so inspired from it. I just couldn't afford to continue doing it. It's very expensive to kind of travel by yourself and stay in these nice places, especially kind of like each month. And it just wasn't feasible for me financially. So I really want to pick it back up again. But what I'm thinking about doing, and you guys will have to let me know down below. I know I've had a few people ask this. I'm going to be maybe opening up a Patreon for this, where I will allow you guys to view those videos a lot earlier than normal, and also maybe some extra videos where I build something from that trip only for Patreon subscribers. I'm going to look into that a little bit more, but I am looking at bringing the Discover with Devon series back within the next few months, or the next couple months even, as spring starts to break, March, April time. That is when I'm going to be doing another vlog. But I will be bringing those vlogs out on the channel as well. So don't feel afraid that you're not going to see them if you don't subscribe to Patreon. I just want my Patreons to see them before anybody else. And then what that will help me doing is to help kind of like financially support that kind of thing, you know? And I've always been a bit iffy with like not begging for money or asking for money. It's just not me. It makes me feel very cringy. It makes me feel it's just not me. I've always been a hard worker and I like to pay my way, but I thought that would probably be the way that I'm going to go with it. So yeah, don't you worry. Discover with Devon will be coming back next month at some point. So be on the looks out for it, darlings. Now, the next question is, what have you been reading lately? It's hard for me to read nowadays. It is. I love to read. I've got so many books at home. You can probably see a few of my favorites up in the office. But finding the time to be able to read is what I struggle with. Whenever I've got free time, I would rather be playing a video game. That is my hobby. I love to play video games and I'm usually doing that in my free time. But I have recently started Mansfield Park. I've just put it out here by Jane Austen. I'm like, how many pages am I in here? 111 pages. I've never read this one. I've read all of Jane Austen's other books, but I've never read this one here. And I'm actually really enjoying this one. I really, really am. I like the classics as well. But as I said, I struggle finding the time to be able to read, which is sad because I've always been a massive bookworm. But your interests and stuff adapt and change as you grow older. I think they'll come back to me at some day. Books will be a thing that I do more than something else, you know. But for now, I've been a gamer since I was like 4, but they take all of my kind of like free time when I want to settle down with something and just chill out. I'm in a game, love. I am playing in a game. That's what I'm doing. So next question. This one is from Lucia Kitty 90. Is that how you say that name? Or was it Lucia? No idea how you say that. I'm so sorry. Will Tom ever be in one of your videos? I always get asked this. No. No, he won't visually. I think we're going to do a stream together one day, but you'll probably only hear his voice. I like to keep my private life private. You hear me talk about Tom. I like to invite you into my life, but I also like my privacy, and Tom likes his privacy as well. So that is one of the main reasons that Tom will never be in one of my videos. And also because of his job, it's just not feasible for him to be in one of my videos. And also, you know what people like online? People online will have judgments and stuff. Not that they would need one, but people like to judge, don't they, about my relationship. And I don't want that. I don't want to open my relationship out there for other people around the world to judge on something that may or may not be true. You know, I've seen it happen so many times with people who are in relationships and they kind of like share them online and stuff. And I'm not ready for that. I don't want fucking Shirley over in, I don't know, the Netherlands commenting on something that might not even be any of their business. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not open to it. I'm not open to it. I think there's a fine line with social media where you can keep your private life private and still kind of open people up to your life so they better know you, you know, or know you better know you better, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's just not something that I will ever want to do. So that is answering that question. Thank you so much. The next one is, how did you meet Tom? So this one is from Azface. Thank you so much for Azface. Me and Tom met 13 years ago now. That's how long we've been together. I moved back down from Brighton and London after a very shit relationship. It was horrible. It was abusive. It was awful. I'm fine with openly talking about this as well. I think it's really important to talk about that kind of thing. So I was not looking for any kind of relationship at all. I wanted to just be by myself. I wanted to heal from that past relationship, but I went out with somebody that I used to know, and we went out on the town together. It was more of an acquaintance. I wouldn't say he was much of a friend. We just knew each other. I did his hair once and we really got on, and we went out on the tiles, the town. And I think it was like the second or third week I was back in the UK then, back in Devon. And this guy was talking to this other guy who he knew, and they were semi-dating. I think they dated for about 3 months, Tom and this other person. I'm not going to name them. So it was nothing serious. And yeah, they ended their relationship, and then me and Tom got talking after that. And, you know, things just happened, and I just realized how much of a nice person he was, how much we got on, considering we were so different from each other. Tom is 3 years younger than me. So I'm almost a sugar daddy, darling. I'm not, but but yeah, it just went from there. It went from there, and it was very natural, and it's very steady. We dated, and then we ended up being in a relationship with each other. So that was how that went, and here we are many years later. And yeah, I absolutely love him. He's my best friend. So moving on, Jose Maria, and they put tips for someone looking for a job they can be passionate about, trying to leave my current job. I think that's quite a wide-brimmed answer, to be honest with you. I left my job because I lost the passion in my job. I used to be a hairstylist for many years, and I just hated it. I absolutely hated the mundane chatter between clients. I loved lots of my clients. Like, they became friends. Like, they really, really did. But I hated the routine of it. I felt stuck. I felt bored. Every day going to work was a struggle for me. And the only reason that I was able to do this job that I'm doing now is because while I was hairdressing, I was uploading a few things here and there on YouTube, but it wasn't good. I wasn't being myself. And I gave streaming a go as well. And I really loved the interaction between everybody when I was streaming. And then lockdown happened. Lockdown happened in 2020. I just put my all into my YouTube channel, and it just really kicked off from there. And I was able to quit my job and do this. And I absolutely love doing this. I really do. I've got so much passion for it. I love it, and I'm in my element. I really, really am. But for you, my love, it's trying to find something else to be passionate about. It really is. Or find a job that you don't have to put too much of your energy into. So you don't take something home when you get home, you know? Like, you don't have to dwell on it and think about it at home, and then you can enjoy your life around that job that you do. I think that's probably going to be my answer for that. But I'm so sorry to hear about you not having fun in your job. I know how that feels, but change is the way forward. It really, really is. As long as you can financially support yourself, etc. The next one is from Kate Linde. Who are your favorite music artists? My favorite band are the Staves. They are a trio of sisters from Watford here in England, and they are they've got this blood harmony when they sing. It's very folksy in a way, but it's also more indie. They've kind of like developed their sound and stuff now. And I have been a fan of their music for, God, it's got to be 10 years now, I think. And I remember how I found them. I was watching Jules Holland, which is like this live music thing here in the UK that is usually on late at night on BBC Two or something like that. And I think it was about midnight, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go to bed now. Just as I was about to turn it off, the staves were on and they were singing. I was like, oh my God, they started singing, and that was it. I was absolutely hooked. I've been to see them 3 times. I've got all of their albums on LPs. Some of them are signed. They are my favorite band in the world. I absolutely love them, and I've spoke about them so many times on this channel. But yeah, they are my favorites. A few other mentions that I really like: Bon Iver, Fleetwood Mac, Feist. Yeah, I've got kind of an eclectic kind of mix. I do like a lot of music. There are some music that I don't really like, but that is my favorite artist. Yes, it is. Next one is from Neela the Havanese. Hello, my darling. Do you think you'll get a pup at some point? Yeah, I do. My life feels very different without Blue in it. It really, really does. But I just know at the minute, I'm not quite there. I'm not ready to have another puppy in my life. This year at some point, maybe I'll look into it a bit more. I might even towards the end of the year be ready, you know, but at this moment in time, I'm not there yet. I'm not there to welcome another family member in to my life when I'm still grieving pretty hard here and there. Like, days can be better than others, but at this moment in time, I'm not quite ready. But me and Tom will definitely be at some point this year, maybe towards the end of it, where we'll think about getting another puppy. But at the minute, no, I'm not ready for it just yet. Next one is from Kyra Rain. What is my favorite song? My favorite song is "Thank You" by Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette's albums throughout the years have always been some of my personal favorites. I love her writing, I love her voice, but for some reason, "Thank You" by Alanis Morissette it's my favorite song of all time. Always will be. This one is from Sunny. Do you have any regrets about doing YouTube? No. Absolutely not. No, I'm having the best time. I know it's not going to be a job that lasts forever. YouTubers, they kind of like dwindle and go, and people forget and grow up and whatnot. I know it's not going to be a job forever, but I'm just going to have the best time doing it while I am doing it, and that is exactly what I'm in amongst now. So even if I'm streaming when I'm in my 50s, darlings, I don't have any regrets about doing it, not at all. No. If anything, it really, really made my life a whole lot better. It really did, and I've got you guys to thank for that. So thanks so much. And this one is from JJ Back Edwards. I think that's what that says. Sorry, love. I really want to start streaming, but I think I'll be boring. Any advice? Don't negatively think of yourself as boring first, straight out from the bat. Like, I was very much holding my real self that I show to you guys now every day back a lot in the beginning. I thought I had to be this very PG Sims builder, streamer, but I really didn't. I saw my channel starting to pick up the more I just put down those barriers and just was myself. Like, I kind of look at all of these other PG Sims creators and stuff, and their communities are a lot different to mine. I've kind of got an older demographic with my community because I tend to be a little bit filth, as we all do in this community. But you won't be boring, my love. What I would say to you is just practice hearing your voice. When you hear your voice back and stuff, it's horrible in the beginning. It really is. I used to hate hearing my voice, but I'm so used to it now, hearing it, that it doesn't irritate me anymore. But yeah, just practice first and have a little go and just do it. Just get on there and do it. You don't even have to have a camera or anything. Just play around and see what you're comfortable with. That's what I would say. But just do it, my darling. Just give it a go. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it, you know? Next is from Joe Viral. Is that how you say that? I'm not so sure. Favorite build you have made? I don't really know the answer to this. One of my favorites actually would be the Hargroves for Let's Build the World's Willow Creek. And it was this mid-century mansion. The reason that is for my favorite, I'm playing it in my legacy with my legacy family at the minute. They're very rich. And it's just got so much to do in there. You kind of like spoil for choice. You end up never leaving the house, to be honest with you. So I've got to say probably the Hargroves mid-century mansion that I built. I really enjoy how that came together and how it looked. And yeah, just one of my all-time favorites. Eliza Day, 89. Who influenced your fashion style choices? I think you dress cool as fuck. Thanks, love. I don't really have an answer for that. I'll see something and know that it's me. You know, when you see something and think that's a bit of me. That, like this top here, for instance, I bought this up in Brighton this weekend when I was up with my friends from All Saints, and it's just really oversized. It's really comfy. I've got it tucked into my trousers. Look, I'll show you. Tucked in my trousers, and I just love it. It's comfortable. It's woolen. It's soft. But I don't really follow trends so much, to be honest with you. I never have done. I've always kind of dressed to the beat of my own bum. I'll just see something, I'll like it, and I know what I can kind of put it with. I tend to go for a more minimal stuff, block colors. But I'm not afraid of a bit of color either. I do love a bit of color. My go-to kind of places for clothes are All Saints, Vans. I love all of like the Vans trousers, the ones that I'm wearing actually are from Vans. Levi's. I do love some of Levi's stuff, especially their jeans. And shoes is definitely Dr. Martens. I absolutely love wearing my Docs. I've probably got about 8 pairs downstairs, and they just last forever. They're so well made, and I just love them. That is my fashion choices. But yeah, no one's really influenced it apart from myself. I've had some bad fashion choices back in the day, don't get me wrong. So yeah, also never feel afraid, no matter what age you are, to wear something. Even get your face pierced, whatever you... There's so much stigma against age these days, especially for women. There really fucking is. But don't feel afraid to wear something because you may be too old for it or something. Just fucking wear it and look fabulous in it when you're doing it as well. Honestly, it's the best way to be. Best way to be. So much less problems. Don't give a shit about anybody else has to say about it. Fuck them. You know, get your glad rags on, darling, and have a good time doing it. Yes. Anyway, here we go. This is from Trapezo. How are you in this job comparing how you were in your last one? Very much happier. Very much happier, full of inspiration every day. Don't get me wrong, as I said, I do get days where I just think, I can't be bloody arsed today. I really can't. But I am my own boss, you know, so I can sway things here and there. I'll always be truthful to you guys as well. If I'm not feeling something today, then I will say, look, I'm not getting a video out today because so. I've had lots of tech troubles in these past few weeks, and it's really put a dampener on everything. Starting to pick it back up now, and yeah, feeling a lot better for it. Yes, I am. Next question is from Sauceon24. Do you have any big plans for the year? Not massive plans. I never really tend to plan ahead. I've got like weddings coming up this year, like of friends and friends of like Tom's. I'm going to Berlin sometime in June, I think. I'm also traveling around Wales with my best friend in July, and I'm going to try and get away on holiday at some point during probably the September month, to somewhere nice and hot, just to finish off the year. But other than that, no, I've not really got any big plans for this year. I'm going to take it as it comes and just see what happens. I think it's much nicer to kind of live that way without kind of any expectation, or, you know, that's me. Might not be you, but it's definitely me. Next question is from, I'm gonna absolutely crucify this name. Mijna Miskritov. I'm so sorry, Miss Christoph. I've crucified that. Do you have any tattoos? I don't have any tattoos. I've always wanted them, and I am going to officially start getting them this year because I would love to get a tattoo of blue. I would really love to get a tattoo of blue on my forearm here. This one. This forearm, I would love to get a tattoo of blue in some way. I have seen an artist that I'm really interested in asking to do this because they're absolutely amazing at portraits. So be on the looks out for it, because definitely would love to start at some point this year. But yeah, that's the answer to that one. Now, this one is from Wirian.so. How are you feeling today? Be honest. I'm always honest, my love. I'm okay. I'm good today. Yeah, I am. I got back from Brighton, so I'm still a little bit fuzzy-headed. Hangovers tend to last about 3 to 4 days with me now because I'm old. But I'm feeling a lot lighter. It was lovely to see my best friends who live up in Brighton. It really was nice to just hang out with them and be silly and do all the things you do when you're with your best friends. Most of my best friends live out of the city that I live in. We're all from this city, or Devon at least. My main friendship group, my best friends, they all tend to live away, apart from one who lives in Plymouth as well. But Yeah, I'm good. Went into that tangent. I am feeling good today. I am. Next question is from Tilda. My go-to cocktail. It's got to be a margarita. It really is. Even though I had one in Brighton the other day and it was absolutely vile. You know when you just take a sip of something, you're like, that's going to give me heartburn straight away. It was just way too sour. I like a little bit of sweetness, tiny little bit of sweetness in a margarita, and it was just a little bit too sour for me. But a margarita, but my go-to spirit is gin. I love a gin and tonic. I really do. Next question is, what is your happiest memory and who was it with? I've got so many. But if we were going back in time into my youth, the probably happiest was during summer holidays. I would always go and stay at my grandparents' chalet. They lived in a chalet on the cliffs in Cornwall, and it was near Whitsand Bay, which is where I spent most of my childhood. It's a beautiful beach. And I just remember the feeling. My stepnan would make me honey sandwiches. And I love honey sandwiches. Sounds weird, but I just love honey. Love a honey sandwiches with a nice bit of salted butter. And send me down to the beach. We'd all go down, walk down the cliff onto the beach and just spend the whole day there. We would spend that much time there. The tide would start coming in, and we'd have to walk through the water, like going up to our waist with everything that kind of held up in the air to get back up the cliff. And then you'd have a shower in the chalet, and then you'd go out and play with the kids and stuff, like out on the like sports fields and in the farmers' barns playing wet tissue fights. I grew up with that kind of lifestyle, and that's probably my happiest memories. Yeah, really is. This one is also from William as well. I've answered 2 questions from you. So most embarrassing thing to happen in a video you haven't noticed and then posted the video. Without a doubt, that time that I vaped. That was really aggressive vape that I forgot to edit out, because I do vape. I am a vapor. I'm a slag for a bit of nicotine, I won't lie. And I forgot to edit out this rather aggressive vape that I did, and it was just awful. And I had the whole comment section laughing at me. I can't even remember what video that's in. It was a long time ago, but that was one of the most embarrassing ones, yes, without a doubt. Oh, how embarrassing. This one is from Mushfrog. Question for the Q&A. Are you going to be bringing the Potter project back soon? If so, which builds are you thinking about doing? Loved that series. Mushfrog, I'm not. No, I've decided on not bringing back the Potter project. Main reasons being, it just never did well on my channel. It's a very niche thing, Harry Potter. Not everybody's into it, so not everybody wants to see that being built, you know. And I've just decided it's just not good for me financially to do a series where it never really does very well, and therefore I can get paid for it. I did enjoy it, but I'm going to leave it where it is. If you want to go and watch an amazing person doing some Harry Potter builds, Freezer Bunny, Leo, he is one of my all-time favorite builders. He's doing an absolutely phenomenal job at doing some Harry Potter builds at the minute. So go over and follow his channel, because amazing, gorgeous, iconic, all of that good stuff. Danny Bellable. This is one question from you. Hi, Aidan, long-time viewer. And as I've said before, but thank you so much for creating a constant place of warmth and comfort here. Thank you. One question I have is, how do you deal with random low points of confidence or feelings of I'm not good enough at X? Sometimes I feel like these things come and go, mostly when I'm busy, but I haven't been attentive to many parts of my life. I completely get what you've like. Oh, without a doubt, everybody gets that. Even people right at the top, you know, they get that. They get that feeling of self-doubt. Am I good enough? Imposter syndrome, that kind of thing. I get it as well. Like, and quite often I do. I think, oh God, I don't really like that. Didn't really like that either. But what I've decided to do was just not give it any power anymore. Not let it make me feel bad or in any way like I didn't put effort or anything into it. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's just a human thing that we think that way. The world as we know it now with social media and stuff, we're constantly comparing everything. And what I've done is curated my space where I don't see things where I'm going to like think, oh God, I wish I was doing that, or I wish I was doing that. One of the main reasons why I don't watch many Sims creators is because I don't want to go down that field of being like, oh, that video was really good, mine's really shit. it's not healthy. It's really not healthy. So I kind of stick myself in my own little bubble and go from there and just have fun when I'm doing it as well. Like I'm having an absolute blast doing what I'm doing. Because I'm not looking outwards and sort of like comparing. But it's just a natural human thing. We do it. It's just more intense now because of how and what is being thrown in our face, like throughout of all social media. Do you know what I mean? But I really hope that you can think that way as well, or at least try and train yourself to, because I think it's going to be better for you in the long run, my darling. It really will. This one is from Hey Charnay. When you're not building on The Sims, what do you like to do to relax and decompress after a long day? Love your Sims 4 builds and your sense of humor. Thanks, darling. I love to lie down. I really do. I love to just chill out, decompress, and like, this sounds so stupid, but I do. I love it. I love a bath. I bath salts as well. Bath salts are a must. I use Westgate, frankincense and bergamot, bath salts, and it's got CBD in it as well. Amazing. That helps me decompress. It really, really does. Bath yoga is another thing. I've done yoga for many years, and that is another thing that helps me decompress. But also playing a video game, watching a film, reading a book when I can. That kind of thing does help me decompress and just, just get rid of the stress of the day. Really, really does. So I hope that helps you. Next question is from Nana Carfunkel. I hope I'm saying that right. For the Q&A, what's your gaming setup, your computer rig? I've got my computer rig in the about section here on YouTube. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's got all of my specs and stuff. I've got a 3090 GPU. I've got an i9 processor, I think I have. Can't remember. But it's all listed down in YouTube, so you can have a little look at that. What's my Sims 5 wish list as well? My Sims 5 wish list would be an open world, or at least semi-open world, open neighborhoods. I would love to see that being brought into the game. And I would also love the build mode to not change too much, but I would love to see more working things. Those curved walls are awful. And I would also love to see objects that are not over the top with colors and stuff. And I know they're appealing to the kind of teen market with this kind of thing, but just look at all of these CC creators like Hey Harry and Felix and Pierre Sim and Charlie Pancakes. That kind of style in the game would just be perfect for me. That would be my Sims 5 wish list. And what's my favorite and least favorite part of being a full-time YouTuber? My favorite part of being a full-time YouTuber is being able to work by my own pace, be creative every single day, be at home in my home. I'm a homebody. I love being at home. Those are my favorite things. My least favorite thing is it does get slightly lonely sometimes. I won't lie. I'm going to always be truthful with you. I'm so used to working around people and having that banter with people that you work around. Whereas here, you don't really get that. You don't really get that. And that's my least favorite thing about it. It can be semi-isolating sometimes during the week. But I'm a big boy, and I know it's just something that comes with the job, This question is from Look, It's Adam. I love watching your building videos. It gives me so much inspiration for my own building. What mods do you use to make your building experience better? I use Better Build and Buy from Twisted Mexi. It is a mod that I would no longer be able to build without. I just could not build without that one. It's beautiful. It sorts everything out, all of the debug items, all of the live edit items. It's just something that needs to be implemented in game, full stop, I believe. And also Twisted Mexi's tool mod as well. Those two there are my go-tos for building in The Sims mod-wise. This next question is from Will. Would love to have a bit of a house tour update. Have you and Tom had any updates on the garden, etc.? No, we haven't really. We've finished the majority of the house now. What we have not finished though is we do have a little toilet downstairs, and it's still got the horrible linoleum flooring in there. It's disgusting, and the tiles are absolutely gopping as well, like proper granny tiles. But I do want to update that at some point this year. Get a new toilet, get a new sink. And I've been thinking, and tiles. I want those like dark Victorian green tiles in there. I really want to do something like that. And I've been thinking about maybe making a little semi-series of where you guys see me actually furnish this bathroom and, yeah, smash out tiles and whatnot. So if you'd be interested in seeing me doing a bit of building in real time, I've never done tiling before. I would love to give it a go. Tom is the builder in this house. He does all the carpentry. He's amazing at it. So I would kind of like to give it a go myself. So let me know your thoughts on that, and I'll see what I can do this year at some point. That will definitely be happening either way. But if you want me to film it, let me know. Next question is from Lucy. How do you think your building style has developed over the years? As always, looking forward to your vids. Thanks, Luce, my love. Yes, definitely developed over the years. It really, really has. I've kind of gone for more realistic ways of building now. I really prefer to build things realistically, and I tend to stick with more British style of architecture because that's what I know. That's what I love to see in the game. I feel it's kind of semi-lacking here and there, and I know not lacking more than other countries that haven't been kind of like welcomed into Sims 4 expansions and stuff as of yet. I would love to see more. I want to see more like African sort of inspired things, more East Asia kind of like influences. I would love to see that in the game. I really would. But yeah, definitely developed over the years, and I've got better in myself at it, and I'm a lot more kind of confident in what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? So yes, the answer to that question is yes. The next question is from Lauren Duckworth. Love your name. I went over to England last summer and it was absolutely stunning. What was your favorite thing about England or being from there? The surrounding, the landscapes, especially down where I am. I know I'm going to just be biased with it, but I just think Devon and Cornwall, it's just got a magic about it. It's just the Celtic roots that it comes from, and I just love it. And the people, most of the people. There are a lot of knob heads wherever you are in the world, but down where I am in the southwest, people tend to be a lot friendlier. Not a lot friendlier than the northerners. A lot of friendly northerners as well. Let me say that one, because I know there's going to be people jumping in my throat saying that. But yeah, the people and just the culture, we're all a bit weird. We're all a bit kooky. And that's what I love about it. I really do. I couldn't see myself living anywhere else apart from England or the UK, I would say, because my dream is to live in Scotland one day, but I don't think that will ever happen. But yeah, that's my favorite things about being from England and living here. Rachel McCarthy. I hope EA figures this out for you soon. So sorry, don't you be daft. It's not your fault, my darling. For the Q&A, what are your personal and professional goals for this year and the next 5 years? I don't really have any. I don't really set myself up for goals. I just like to see things as they come. I think we went over this slightly in another question earlier. Yeah, it's just not something. I don't want to set myself something and then not be able to achieve it, because then that puts a dampener on your own spirit. Do you know what I mean? I kind of think that way. So I don't have any personal or professional goals. Maybe something personal. I've started the gym. I started the gym like months back now, and I just want to start feeling healthier and start seeing the changes in my body, which I can. I've completely noticed it already. So personally, or a personal goal, was to get a lot healthier and have the body of an absolute god, darlings. This one's from Bear. What are your top 5 or 3 games of all time? I hope the game situation gets fixed. Thanks, my love. I've got franchises that are more my top sort of games, if you know what I mean. Elder Scrolls is always going to be number 1. Elder Scrolls games I absolutely love. They were my first experience with kind of open, massive landscapes, Morrowind, Skyrim, and that obviously as well. Those were my first kind of like delve into that kind of genre of gaming, and it's my favorite genre of gaming out of anything. Even The Sims is a kind of open world RPG game where you can just be a character and live that life. I just love it. It fills me with adventure. So Elder Scrolls, I would definitely say so. The Witcher franchise as well being another one. Not so much Witcher like the first Witcher game. I didn't really like that, but 2 and 3 especially, plus the DLCs are just amazing. I love them. And also the Assassin's Creed games. I love those games so much, especially the more recent, like sort of like RPG new ones. Odyssey, Black Flag, Origin. Those, I love them. Valhalla as well. I really, really enjoyed that playthrough. But yeah, those are my kind of top 3 game franchises of all time. This one's from Neve Cameron. My question is, Have you ever considered being an architect? I didn't really consider it. I just thought about it. And then I looked into what I would have to do to achieve that. And it turns out a whole lot that I just do not want to do. 5 years at university, also being good at maths. I am not good at maths. I never have been. It's always been my worst subject. I'm much more of a vision, sort of creative person. Yeah, so I did consider it. I did look into it. It's just not for me. I'm much happier doing what I'm doing now. So there we are. Just a few questions from you guys. I had so many. I wish I could answer them all, but we'd be here for weeks, loves. We really would. So maybe we'll have to do this again in the future. I hope you enjoyed this. I really, really do. I had fun doing this. It was nice going through some of your questions. It really was. But that's it from me, my loves. Have a wonderful Tuesday. I'm going to be back tomorrow with some Let's Build the World. We are starting on a penthouse build in the Arts Quarter tomorrow for a rather special family. So be on the looks out for that. And that is going to be tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. And then on Friday, I have that generation build actually coming out this week. Remember the one where I lost all the footage? It's coming again. So that shall be out this Friday too. And also there is no stream this evening. Streams this week will be Wednesday to Friday. So yes, I shall see you there. Have a wonderful, whatever time of the day it is. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, loves.